All right, what's going on, everybody? Sorry about the technical difficulties. So we are back and running. Hopefully, everybody trying to figure out what the hell going on. What's going on with that? But anyway, man, look. First and foremost, like I said, my dialogue started. The dialogue started off early. I talked about my today was supposed to be my 11th wedding anniversary, but of course I'm divorced. I've been divorced for 6 years, 6.5 years. Um, um, and kind of feel I feel some type of way. So that's the reason why that I was very kind of somber and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, um, at the end of the day, I just know not to try to seek validation through things like that. And just you know be mindful. What up, cuz? Um, but I kind of just wanted to put it out there that you know I was feeling away. I was feeling kind of bad. In a sense, I was still kind of blaming. I was still kind of blaming myself. Um, about what I was went through. Uh, what had happened, and I was beating myself up. I was punishing myself, and I'm punishing myself now. Um, because I don't know, you know, I don't know how to deal with things like that. If you get what I'm saying, like I don't know the type of resolution that that I'm supposed to be having. So um I don't know. And then my contact is bothering me, so I got to take that out. I'm worried about some other things that's going on right now, and I really don't want to too much get into kind of get into that. I would, but later on, if you wasn't on here earlier, I did say that I am rebranding the whole YouTube channel. So I am rebranding the whole YouTube channel. We are doing a revamp of this whole channel. And it's starting off with the logo. I done had this same logo for the last. I made that logo uh, almost 4 years ago, and I've had that same logo ever since I started it. So now I think it is time. It is time to move to look forward and move forward, because that's what we're trying to do. That is what our mission is to move forward. Um, but like I said, we talked. We're gonna talk about the NFL draft. I've already gave my spiel about the Cowboys, but if you ain't seen it, I'm gonna go back and get it again. Say it again. Cowboys. I really didn't want. I wanted them to go after a linebacker at the time, but their first pick was a safety from Caleb Downs from Ohio State. I was looking for the linebacker from Texas Tech. Um, but at the end of the day, I could take the pick with Downs, and also with Malachi Lawrence coming from UCF. Um, This lets you know the mindset of what Christian Parker is trying to do as far as with the defense for the Cowboys. And I've also said that this was not a real deep class when it came to quarterbacks. This was more this draft was more for defense, defensive ends, defensive line. But what's up?
What's going on? Sorry about that. I was programming and I was playing with. I got 3 mics, and so I was playing with the different mics with the app, and all of a sudden it decided it didn't want to read my mic no more, so I had to restart my computer.
Okay, so yeah. Let's see. Mendoza goes first. I told you. We all knew that.
Just go on
the
Raiders.
Just go on and admit it, Troy. Y'all need a QB. Y'all need a young one. Y'all don't need no recycled QB though, for real. Y'all need somebody young up in that jump.
So the Rams traded back and got Ty Simpson.
Yeah.
We could have got an additional first-round draft pick. And look, so let me go ahead and say this, right? I made the whole Tom Brady joke.
Get your feelings out the way.
Listen, I made the whole Tom Brady joke, but Tom Brady did not have the physical tools that this kid had. I don't like his film, right? I like my quarterback to throw under duress. I like him to throw contested throws, to fit them in the tight windows. Those highlights that everybody show, they're missing those tight windows. Outside of that, because we know, even though we're making some upgrades on the offensive line, there is going to be moments where he be under duress. And he ain't I know what people think, oh, he can get out of trouble. He can't. The Irish just sucked last year. Like, y'all get it twisted. There's no reason that he should have been able to run over the University of Miami for a touchdown. That's crazy. That aside, he's a pocket quarterback. So that was my only thing. We got a pocket quarterback with an offense situation where he might have to run for his life. That was my only real gripe. Outside of that,
but that it's for you to fix the offensive line.
And if you look, if that was what we was gonna do, the first 3 draft picks, that was a concern, because the first 3 draft picks wasn't we fixing the offensive line. The first three draft picks was we were so bad on defense, we got to fix this first. I understand that.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
So the first 3 picks, regardless in this draft, of course, y'all went with QB because the Heisman Trophy winner, national championship quarterback. You know what I'm saying? He might have been playing in the most boring offense with Kirk Signetti as the head coach, but at the end of the day, the man won. He won 2 years in a row at Indiana. When was the last time?
Oh no, he only won 1 year. No, hold on, let's not do that. He
won was at last season.
No, he wasn't. He was at Cal last season, we beat him at Cal. He was at Cal last season. He came over to Indiana this year, and this year in Indiana, he looked all right.
Did he win at Cal? Did he have to win the season at Cal? I think he did.
I can't remember. They might have, but they lost to Florida State. Well, he didn't, but he didn't look terrible.
Because everybody loses. Everybody either beats Florida State or you lose to Florida State.
Listen, with the current coaching staff, I got to count that against you. But he didn't look terrible. I'll say that. He didn't look terrible against Florida State. I think they lack talent at Cal. I'll say it that way.
I mean, to go from Cal to Indiana, first and foremost, is very diabolical.
It wasn't a bad move. I'll say that. We talked about everything that was. Yeah, we talked about everything that went on with Cal. It wasn't a bad move. And again, I'm not holding that against him, but this our first 3 picks. We drafted Mendoza.
Mm-hmm.
That was the need position, but I don't know if the number 1 overall pick needs. Then we got the safety out of Arizona, Traden Stokes. Again, good draft pick, nice speed, very productive in college. Then we got the edge from Auburn. Productive. Feel the need because the current edge that we had opposite was not productive, and we traded him. That was and this is when I apologize. When we traded the other edge, I apologize because you trying to make moves. You're trying to make moves to get better.
Right.
And in the third round,
trying to get better. You're not trying to stink up the joint to where you're trying to get another damn number 1 pick. That would look nice if you wanted that, but you don't need another number 1 pick. Y'all need to win.
Well, and then our 3rd round pick, Trey Zoom the third from Texas A&M. Again, productive. First team All ACC, but he played his snaps at tackle. The Raiders introduced him as a guard, so he's probably going to play either the guard positions. With his size, 6'3", I think 330. We got 2 running backs.
He's going to play guard.
Yeah, we got.
He can play left or right guard.
Right.
But also he can still play tackle. So let's not forget about that.
I know we talked about
he don't have long arms.
And then in the 4th round, we got Jermod McCoy, cornerback out of Tennessee. Didn't dislike that pick. Again, you're addressing the need. If it had not been for his ACL in 2025, it probably would have been a 1st round draft pick. And then we got the pick that I like. We got the running back out of Arkansas, Mike Washington.
Yeah.
Ran a 4.3, and he run people over. We haven't had our 3rd down back in a couple years. I think this replaces it. The 5th round pick, and then everything else after that pick is just depth. So in the 5th round, we picked Dalton Johnson, safety out of Arizona. Again, that's just depth. The 5th round, we picked up another corner, Hezekiah Masses out of California. We talking about depth here.
Right.
And again, he's a press corner, and that kind of fits that defense. The question I have is the 6th round pick, Malik Benson, a wide receiver out of Oregon. 719
I did
yards.
see that.
I don't know. We need another receiver. He could be a number 1 because we have a number 2 speed receiver right now. They run a full 240, but we can't get him the ball because we don't have a number 1. So if he can come in and kind of pretend to be the number 1, I'm cool with that. We got the defensive tackle out of North Carolina State. We needed a defensive tackle. I probably would have preferred a defensive tackle in the late 1st round, but we got a defensive tackle. And so it wasn't a bad draft. It wasn't a bad draft. I'll probably give it, right now, I'll probably give it a B right now because of the things you could have done. Could have been an A, but right now it's a B. I'm not terribly mad. Dallas didn't have
you don't know what it's going to look like until they get out there for mini camp, and because you got OTAs next week for the rookies. And yes, rookies, you need to go to OTAs.
We still got $23 million in salary cap. So it's still free agents out there.
You still got another free agency come out. But
you know,
like I said,
if y'all don't want Bell no more,
I think we're gonna keep Bell. It'd be stupid to get rid of him. I mean, unless you really want to get rid of him. But I don't think we need to get.
I don't think we
need to get rid of him.
I don't think they're gonna get rid of him, but y'all drafted linebackers, and maybe y'all move Bell back to your natural position. I'm not sure. Back to his natural position. I'm not sure.
I think we're moving back to safety. Because it makes sense. It doesn't, the only and you got to realize the only reason why we did that.
I apologize, y'all. Riverside has been having some issues with connectivity, and so Doc has been getting dropped off a lot. I am working on the software to get to the point to where we can not use anybody else. So hopefully, I think with the work I did today, we might be 3 weeks away, maybe 4, and then it should be ready for production. So we'll see how it goes. But how's everybody feeling about their team's draft? Because you heard me talk about mine. I'll say this: if you are a Dallas fan, you can't be mad. You made some upgrades at some key positions, and you made some moves. Anytime a team makes moves, I got you, Doc. Anytime a team is making moves, that's a plus. I know I should call Marlo and troll Marlo about his books, but I think that would be mean, and I don't want to be mean today. So let's look up the Bucs 2026 draft picks. So the Bucs start off the first round with Ruben Bain. Again, I think for me that's a stretch because he got little arms. I know everybody's like, "Oh, he a dog." Well, there's a difference between college and the pros. These grown men, they got wives and kids, and trying to get their next contract. Them little arms are gonna be a problem. So you just can't play off your talent. You're gonna have to actually. He's gonna have to outwork everybody, right? In the second round, they got linebacker Josiah Trotter, which the Bucs needed a linebacker because they just had a linebacker retired, so they needed a linebacker. To get a linebacker with injury issues in the second round, I probably would not have made that move. But again, the Bucs do what the Bucs do. The Bucs do take care of a need when they get Ted Hurst in the third round from Georgia State. Georgia State pick. Oh man. I don't know how tall Ted Hurst is. But he is, as far as speed is concerned, he's the upgrade from Mike Evans. He's absolutely an upgrade. But that also means that Chris Godwin and Omeka Ibuka have got to step up. Absolutely got to step up.
I think it's more with Chris Godwin because he's been injury prone for the last few years.
Chris Godwin should have been let go a while ago. Like you gave him
an extension. Ago. Now I will say that.
Yeah, you gave him an extension and he immediately went on the injury reserve. So I guess now you have no choice. You didn't give him all that guaranteed money. He got to stay on the team until his guaranteed money run out. So having Omeka, having Hurst, having McMillan and Tez Johnson, that helps. And again, getting more speed on this team at the wide receiver position, it helps. Because I made jokes like Tampa Bay Buccaneers receiving core, they was just big. when they let, I forget, Scotty Miller, I think it was, when they let him go.
Yeah, Scotty Miller.
That was from my perspective, that was a bad move because he made everybody on the field a threat because he pulled the defense up top.
Mm.
And then in the fourth round, they picked up Keontae Scott, corner from Miami. He is a boom or bust corner.
Yeah.
He either gonna make a crazy play or he gonna get beat. It is what it is. But it's not bad for Kona, I guess. Their fifth round pick, they picked up DeMonte Capehart. Last season, kind of so. And he got a little off field issues, but nothing to write home about. They got a guard out of Notre Dame. I'm gonna mess up his name. Billy Scruth. I don't know. Again, Notre Dame guard, productive. Get the Bucks back to their ground and pound type of offense. And then the LSU tight end. I think that was their best position, best round draft pick because they got a tight end that they needed in the sixth round, who was productive.
Right.
So, sixth round pick. Hopefully, he makes the team. It helps the Bucks, but the Bucks didn't have a bad draft. I would love to troll them, but they didn't have a bad draft because you upgraded your wide receiver position. And I don't care what ESPN said. Your last wide receiver that y'all let go was slow. You get a new wide receiver. He may not take that position, but he increases the speed of the overall wide receiver room. That's a plus. Defense, one linebacker ain't going to fix the defense. It wasn't just the linebacker position. It wasn't just the front position. The Bucks defense in key moments was a problem. But,
So now the undrafted free agents are negotiating and get ready to sign with a team.
Can we tell some truths about what happened with the FCS players this year?
Tell your truth.
Couple things happened, right? And we had people telling us that, especially last year and the year before, scouts saying this doesn't matter, but it ended up mattering. When scouts was asking recruits at the HBCU Combine or prospects at the HBCU Combine, why didn't you transfer? That being leaked out made people want to transfer more. One. Two, you had NFL teams draft players from the quote-unquote best teams in FCS who did not plan out. We don't have any news just yet, EA. I'm waiting on that now. But the Raiders had two of the quote-unquote best players, or two players from the best FCS teams that did not make the squad. People see that. And last year's Raiders squad, if they couldn't make last year's Raiders squad, nobody's going out on a limb. So I'm not giving nobody a pass because they need to get in the trenches and find those diamonds in the rough, which, one, I don't think they have, and two, I think there are more talented HBCU players, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, coming out this year or next year as opposed to this year.
So, like I was saying earlier, if you look at this draft was not. First of all, you got to look at the draft the way it was set up, starting on Thursday, because we all knew Mendoza was going to go number one. But after that, after the first pick, it was a free fall until David Bailey's name jumped out there on the radar that you cannot teach freakish athlete at 6'4", 250 pounds as a defensive end. So guess where he's in New Jersey. I mean in New York. He's a Jet because they need help all around. The Jets need help all around. They need help on defense. They need help on offense. They really wanted more help on defense because that's Aaron Glenn's. That's his MO is defense. So you got to look at it like this, and then you look at the rest of it. It was defense. When was the next quarterback taken in the first round? Ty Simpson, right? Ty Simpson was the next quarterback that was taken in the first round.
Yeah.
Did Ty Simpson look like he had first round potential? No. But his draft stock shot up because, for one, he played in the system for 2 years under Caleb DeBoer. DeBoer's system basically was to throw the ball all over the field, and make the quarterback look good. So if you look at the first 15 picks of the draft. You had a couple of offensive linemen sprinkled in there, but mostly everybody went defense this season. I crashed out Thursday because we picked Caleb Downs, and I'm trying to get Rodriguez, but something was saying like, why is he falling? Because he was slated to go to us with the 12th pick. And he fell all the way to the second round.
There will be mostly sunny weather, with a high of 88 degrees Fahrenheit and a low of 72 degrees.
But you get Caleb Downs, and then you trade down. The Cowboys traded down. They get Malachi Lawrence. I mean, you get a two. If you really think about it, you get a 2-for-1 deal. Mm-hmm. That's a 2-for-1. That's a 2-for-1. Because you're not gonna have any. You're not gonna trade. You're not gonna have any picks in the later rounds because you done traded them. You know what I'm saying, to either move up or move down. Okay, we didn't have a second round pick, but we did pick somebody up though. We picked up D. Winters in the trade from the 49ers. Now that helps get our linebacker depth back into shape and kind of improve our linebacker play because our linebacker play was horrible last season.
He was playing guys undersized. That was the problem.
Well, this wasn't even Dan Quinn's system. This was Eberflus. We wasn't playing guys undersized. We was still playing. We played Logan Wilson, who was way behind. He was behind. This was his. You can tell when it's time for somebody to roll up out of there. And it was time for Logan Wilson to roll up out of there. He was not effective anymore. But you get your linebacker. We get an offensive tackle because he's still building on the offensive line. He's doing. Like this is why I said this ain't Jerry. This is Steven. Steven is doing all the. This is a Stephen Jones draft right here. Because if it was Jerry probably would have got goddamn. He probably would have drafted Jeremiah Love. He probably would have went third overall, got Jeremiah Love, knowing we got Javonte Williams as our starting running back.
No.
But this is the Stephen Jones draft. He drafted for need. That's what we needed. We need an offensive tackle because we need to. Who's the next to get replaced on the offensive line for the Cowboys? Because Travis Frederick is retired. Zach Martin is retired. Tyron Smith is gone. So we replaced them with Guyton, Tyler Smith, and Booker. And we did those in 3 consecutive years. Like Tyler Smith is going into his 3rd or 4th season as a starter.
So you need a lineman.
We need linemen. You need to replace the lineman. Like that's the same thing that he did when he did the same thing, and it was really for Tony Romo. This is back in 2014, right? It was really for Tony Romo. The offensive line that he built with Frederick, Martin, Terrence Steele, Tyron Smith, and who's the other guy? It wasn't Biadasz. Biadasz came later. But he built that line for Tony Romo. It's just for the fact Tony Romo gets hurt in the preseason game. He's done. He was really done for the season. I don't care what anybody say. He was done for the season. So you built the offensive line like that. Then now you're building up your linebacker core and your defensive line. We didn't have a pass rush. You know who our leading pass rusher was? It was Jadeveon Clowney. With I think he had 6.5, 7 sacks. You know who the second best player on the defensive line was for us? James Houston. And he had 4.5. And it was times in the game last season where I'm looking at the game and I'm looking at Eberflus, and I'm like, why don't you have James Houston in this particular spot to try to rush, you know what I'm saying, to get a rush on the quarterback?
For the love of God, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. The Knicks game is on. We can't fire the coach at halftime, right after halftime. I'm just curious. I'm trying to find something out.
You trying to do a Vontae Davis?
Listen.
Vontae quit. He quit at halftime. He's like, "What the? They ain't coming back out."
How you? And then they give up a 3. Oh man. No, I agree with you. You've increased talent. Now, will it show up this year? Maybe not. It'll probably show up next year, just like the Raiders. The Raiders are in a 2-year build. I know that. Long as the Bucs still suck, I can be happy. As
long as we beat the Eagles in the regular season and we good. We Gucci. We beat them. I mean, we beat them last season. So doesn't matter to us. I would say adding Devin Moore from Florida. Troy was like, I don't know if Troy heard about seeing that one.
I saw that one. I just ain't say nothing.
I mean, we do like them Florida Gators there, you know what I'm saying? And then we get the offensive tackle from Penn State. You got the cornerback, Florida. Then you added another. I think we added another pass rusher, And then, we got the DN from Michigan. And then in the 7th round, you get the receiver from East Carolina. Which basically it's a decent draft. Because you're gonna look at more undrafted free agents, and then you're gonna look at more in overall free agents.
There's going to be more undrafted free agents that make squads this year than probably any other year. And for FCS and HBCU FCL players, that's probably a better prospect because you get to your next contract faster. Because I think the free agent contracts are just 1 or 2 years.
You get
Your cousin talking about you.
I know. Well, good thing I don't stay in Las Colinas.
Lord. No, I think again, I don't want to jinx nobody. I don't want to say no names till the free agent list come out, and it should come up. They're making calls now, so
Yeah, making calls
now and tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, we should know who's going well. But we're gonna see more FCS guys end up on squads, make rosters. I just don't think it's gonna be any of the Canada junior schools. Again, I apologize, y'all. Mike Brown is, I don't know. I don't know if he's ready for this moment. Way to backdoor cut. There we go, Doc. And just to give everybody a school update, Knicks are up 61-51 on the Atlanta Hawks. Oh man, we're playing against the refs. Bad.
Well, you know what they said. They're going to Magic City afterwards.
Them motherfuckers better not go to no damn Magic City out there. They done stunk up these playoffs. They better get immediately on the plane. Win, lose, or draw.
They're going to go to Magic City, make it rain.
They ain't, you know what? If they ain't win no rain, they better not make nothing rain.
Still coming out. It's still coming out with players.
Let me see if I can see who the Raiders signed free agent.
Jacksonville picked up Joey Aguilar as an undrafted free agent. Y'all got a defensive tackle. Y'all signed a defensive tackle, Gary Smith III from UCLA. For right now, this is what I see right now.
Yeah, CBS is putting out a list. Let me go through CBS list. Okay.
Oh wow! You remember the show Friday Night Tykes?
Yeah.
Remember the dude, the kid, Latrell McCutcheon?
Yeah.
He just got drafted. He just got picked up by the Titans as an undrafted free agent.
Deshaun Rucker from USF, cornerback from USF, got signed by the Detroit Lions. Seriously? Yeah, you're right. The Gary Smith guy from UCLA. I'm not seeing any FCS guys, man. Like this is crazy.
You know it's bad when who picked up Bryce Lance? The Saints.
I think so. Yeah.
You know it's bad when the little brother about to get more play than the big brother. Haynes King got picked up by Carolina. And the funny thing is when they do undrafted free agents for the Cowboys, we usually go regional. So it wasn't a lot of FCS players, but they did. What's the guy named? Charles Demings from Stephen F. Austin got drafted, I think, in the 4th round or something like that.
Was he the only FCS player?
Nah, it's more than that.
I'm just going through.
So,
Boy,
it like I said, I keep saying this. I said this. These people are waiting on for these kids to, if you in the SCS, they waiting on for you to get developed and transferred. So that way, wherever you go, especially on the FBS level, they ain't got to do too much of development over there. But
they're not developing. All right, so
no,
this
they no. The thing is, here's the thing. This is what they said. They said that because on our level, FCS, HBCU, FCS, don't matter. We develop our players, give them 2 years, right? So, like, let's just say we get a player that's from straight out of high school, right? We develop them. They go out there and they play and they ball out. Within those 2 years, somebody's already got an eye out on them. So that the thing is, they're not looking for us. They're only looking for us as being a development league, a development school. Like Kevin Coleman getting drafted in the what round? 5th, 6th round, something like that.
yeah, something like that.
I mean, one, they did it because he's undersized. First and foremost, he's undersized, and then he moved around too much.
Oh Jesus! Did you see this? The Red Sox fired their manager Alice Cora.
Oh yeah. Red Sox fired Alice Cora.
Ooh, let me look at these standings. They must be behind the Rays.
I'm about to say, don't he got a
dead last in the division? Yeah, that's why. That's why they did it. Yeah, that's why. List, and I'm trying to find a list, right, of the number of FCS players drafted. So in the fourth round, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total. Caleb Proctor, Southeast Louisiana, he went to the Cardinals. Bryce Lance went to the Saints, wide receiver, go to the Saints. Saints fans, we already know y'all gonna cut him. We already know. They don't throw the ball enough in North Dakota.
But they ain't looking at that. They're looking at that he does have hands and he has actual speed where he can break away from.
I ain't telling you something I heard about. I'm telling you something I know. We put our hope in a wide receiver. I think he was a quarterback in North Dakota State.
That's y'all fault for drafting that dude from the Ivy League.
I said he listen. He was gonna mess up everything, and he did. Like you said, Charles Dimmons out of SFA. He went to the Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
Karan Prunty. He was at North Carolina State, cornerback at North Carolina State, but he went to Wake Forest.
So he was at 3 schools. So he started at remember, he started at Kansas.
Wait, I know Philly drafted another North Dakota State quarterback.
Yeah,
Cole Payton.
Cole Payton.
Let me see. They say he was going to be drafted day 3. Yeah, I don't know. Because he got 1,800 yards rushing. So I don't think he's going to be a quarterback. I don't think they're going to have him at quarterback. What game was that I watched him in? I can't remember what game I watched him in. I was like, it didn't translate. And again, there are certain FCS players that get looked at differently than they do us, because until we get back to playing the way we used to play, the NFL ain't gonna look at us like they supposed to.
But the thing is, though, Troy, it's not that how we used to play. It's the fact that they ain't looking at us like that at all. They want to get the person. They want to get the kid from the FBS school that you really ain't got to tell them too much.
I would agree with that. However, if you look at the bulk of our games, like our premier teams, right? Our premier teams, until late in the season, PV wasn't throwing the ball like that. The beginning of the season, PV, I guess they was throwing the ball like that, but it was getting picked off or incompletions. But to the middle of the season, PV wasn't playing exciting football. And hell, in the championship game, they stopped playing exciting football in the second half. North Carolina Central, premier team, but they 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Jackson State, premier team, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. FAMU, for some strange reason, became 3 yards in a cloud of dust. We are, and I don't mean we got to go full air raid, because even with Billy Joe, we were still running the ball. But we have to bring back our explosive plays. And I know defenses ain't just going to be like, okay, let me give you this touchdown so NFL players look at our. No, it has to be winning football. But we got a lot of work to do. And the NFL scouts that got an HBCU background, who ain't pushing and advocating for HBCU players, and the HBCU players got to make them look good. It all work together. You can't just be like, oh, I'm finna get on this NFL scout that used to go to, North Carolina A&T or Southern, Morgan, you got to be, hey, take a look at this dude. And then that dude can't be getting bad reports from the HBCU combine. So it's got to be, it's all got to work together. And the problem that we sometimes have as a collective is that we don't all work together towards the same goal, right? The first part of it is just simply we got to get the players looked at, and you can't be going or every time a scout comes to our practices, it can't be a full-blown media event that we put on social media that a scout came to the school. The scout,
a scout gonna come to the school regardless,
right?
Because that's their job.
The scout that signed a player to a roster, that's the motherfucker we celebrate. That's the motherfucker we put on our social media. Not the one that just show up.
I'm just here to pass on the good news.
What happened?
Pat Riley is out, goddammit.
Oh my God.
Open the shop. Woo!
Whoa.
He ain't dead. He's just not in charge. He ain't dead. But get him.
He ain't dead. I'm just saying. I ain't see.
Get him. Nah, it's not. I saw it posted. It wasn't a satire post that I saw it on. So I'm like, shit. Are they waiting till Monday to make this announcement?
Probably so.
Thank you for the championships, Pat. Thank you for making Miami basketball relevant. But Pat, this has not been your brightest time.
Did he almost try to fight LeBron?
LeBron needed to be almost fought.
Yeah, because I don't. Yeah,
I'm just asking.
Yeah, I've heard it too many times, and too many people won't say yay or nay. They just kind of change the subject for it to not be true. Yeah.
Are you?
I don't know. Keep talking. We still talking about the draft. I see the Jaguars going.
Oh, I'm not. I like our picks. I like our picks. We went after what we needed, especially with an edge rusher, because we had one, but we only got one. And we did have holes at the linebacker spot. So I like our picks. In years past, I would have been like, them dudes ain't gonna be there because I didn't trust the organization then, but I think we got a way better structure now than we have in years past.
This motherfucker done got a technical.
Who got to take?
Josh Hart.
Oh shit.
His ass ain't played. He ain't played all season. Well, I ain't gonna say all season. He ain't played all series.
Now he want to hoop.
He hooping now, and now he want to get a take.
I'm about to.
So
I gotta check on the boys. I've been watching preseason ball all day.
So if you look at the draft, look at where majority of them players got drafted. Where they came from.
You talking about that dude from Nigeria?
Oh, you talking about the NFL draft? All of them being P4s?
All of them being from what?
All of them being from P4, but what's the main conference that you're looking at?
SEC?
That's it.
No, but we have already had that conversation on this very show about what's gonna happen. The problem is you got other conferences like the ACC and Mountain West that feel like they're gonna be included in that shift too, and they not. Let me see what Raven had herself a game tonight.
So, Mike, I'm gonna go ahead and address that. HBCU football won't become obsolete, neither will FCS PWI football. There is going to be a split in the next 3 years, and that split is the NFL isn't just going to draft from that. It's essentially going to be
They're gonna draft from that. They're gonna try to draft from that talent pool that's going to be split.
Yep.
But the thing is, it's not going to be enough talent. That's the problem. Is
Right.
that what
No, but
people don't want to acknowledge?
it's not about pooling talent. It's about pooling and controlling the resources and the money.
Oh, I know.
That's what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
I know that. And what I'm saying, as far as the NFL is concerned, that
No.
pool is going to be so small.
It's not going to be enough talent for them to keep up.
Right. They're going to have to pull from that. I'm going to call it, for lack of a better term, that second tier of schools. And FCS and the SWAC, I don't know about the MEAC because I don't know if they're going to grow. I don't know. But the SWAC will be in that second tier of schools, right?
Ooh, good move. Ooh,
So,
ooh.
Yeah, it'll be.
I'm gonna say it like this, I will agree with I agree with what Ken Clark said. Why we got to move up when we the hottest thing smoking?
Exactly.
Right.
And again, I have never been a proponent of move up, move up. I hated it when we tried to do it back in the day, and I think it's even more. Well, back in the day, it made a little bit more sense because of the money, right? Like social media and streaming wasn't what it is now. So yeah, when you look at it, then dang, if going to this conference over here gonna put $1 million more in my pocket. 20 years ago, $1 million was a lot of money. You was cooking if you had $1 million coming in without lifting the finger. So, but now looking at it now, what do we stand to gain? And when I say we, I'm talking about all HBCUs. What we stand to lose a whole hell of a lot more trying to move up than we do if we just stay where we are.
Mm-hmm.
You get to retain the culture. Like you listen. I listen to Tennessee State people. I listen to North Carolina A&T people talk about like what they meant. You get to retain your culture. You get to retain your identity. You still gonna get the money. You still gonna get the players that you want to get. We good.
That who was it? Dodger Blue on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
That dashboard of HBCU economics when it came to athletics. I done been through that thing like 15 times.
Yes, that's foul.
And I'm just here to tell y'all, it's a lot of schools that swear they well off and they not.
They pump faking.
And then there's schools that everybody hollering about they broke, but are the quote unquote model of self-sufficient HBCU athletics. So I think everybody needs to take an honest look at what the actual landscape is. Mm-hmm. Everybody keep trying to look at, oh, well, FBS getting all this money from ESPN. And I'm one of the main ones that saying ESPN giving out, everybody contract money except us. But also, we are in a position where we don't need ESPN. It's only a few things that need to take place, and we're good.
Oh, hey, shout out right now. I just got some news. Shout out to Janela Dupree signing a free agent deal with the Cleveland Browns.
Hey.
Who did?
Janela Dupree.
Okay.
What we used to call him Marcus Dupree grandson.
Yeah.
You can't move down, man.
What the fuck are you talking about? Move down? Why in the absolute? You know what?
Where are we moving down to? What? To where? To why? For what? Because even when you're looking at the SWAC, there are probably 8 schools in the SWAC that are good. Probably a few more than 8. But where are we moving? For what? Who is that? Me and Mike.
Yep.
Yep. Crash out.
No, I'm not. I'm not because he's clearly not taking in the economics of what's happening.
He don't fucking know how. He don't know how. He don't know economics. All he know is surface level bullshit that he keeps fucking repeating.
So I'm gonna say a couple things. Fuck the
And
rituals
hey,
and
no,
history and all of
hey,
that.
and the second thing, you told him to bring his ass and he ain't show up, but he wanna show up today. Okay.
That
All
is
right,
true.
keyboard warrior.
Um, so we can get all of this out of the way. Fuck that. Fuck the rituals. Fuck the heritage and all of that. Put all of that to the side right now. I normally don't, but let's put all that to the side and let's just talk brass taxes, right? Brass fucking taxes.
Why
There
is
isn't
Courtney Williams still bringing the ball up?
there isn't a single FCS team in the playoffs that made money from their postseason. Not now. You know who did?
Hey, does Crook make a valid point right here? Ass whippers are part of football. You cut the loser. Does he make a valid point right there?
What ass whippers? Yeah, I mean, and if that's the case, then we would be like what 2 schools right now in the SWAC.
Are
Mm-hmm.
you fucking? Nope, nope. Mm-mm. So what we're not finna do is disrespect by calling the SWAC one step above the NEC.
Where the fuck is his
Only
school every time? His school had made a celebration bowl nor postseason, but he keep hollering about the postseason. What the fuck is broke ass
this
Morgan State doing?
the and this is no disrespect to the MEAC. I'm only going to say
No,
what
this is
MEAC
disrespect to
podcasters.
me at Mike. That's what the fuck
No,
this is.
I'm just gonna say this for MEAC Mike. For everybody, hold on, yeah, I'm gonna get to the comment. For everybody who seems to be taking shots at the SWAC got their own fucking digital network. Outside of do the CIAA got their own network? I know the
Um,
SIAC got one.
they will probably have it before the MEAC because they commissioner she be working.
That's what I'm saying.
So
You got a commissioner like Dr. McWilliams who be busting her ass out
She
there.
she been working, bro.
She be working. You got goddamn Dr. Barnes in a NAIA conference is busting her ass and working. And what is Dr. Seals doing with the MEAC? Nothing. You still doing the same shit Dennis Thomas was doing a long time ago.
So EA, post a comment, please. Hold on, let me see if I can scroll up on here. I'm not the host here, so I don't know if it'll let me scroll up. It won't let me scroll up. Go ahead and post the.
I got it.
You got it.
What did he say? No, but he
said
said he was saying I support football ass whoopers. If you ass whoopers are part of football. If you
They
if you
are.
can't get the mustard, you got to go.
As
Hold on,
which are
fuck that, Mike.
absolutely a
I
part
podcast.
of
No, Mike. We podcast at 8 and 8:30 on the two shows on Tuesday and Thursday. You have been on the show. You have been on the show. I don't want to hear that unless your shift changed. You've been on the show. We
he
don't
has
podcast,
been. He
so
has
I don't
been
want
on
to
a
hear that.
couple of shows. We don't run and we don't change. The only thing that has changed is we do a Saturday show, but he ain't coming over there with that bullshit. 8 and 8:30 every Tuesday and Thursday, and sometime on Wednesday when we got a special guest.
All my like my coaches cut the loser, especially if you don't fight back. That's a true
That's a true
statement.
statement.
And here's the thing about the SWAC. You can say what the fuck you want to say about Valley. Valley fighting back.
They are.
There are multiple games that I said, hey, Valley might not win this game, but you in a game, especially women's basketball, football. Valley, again, might not be the best, but you've been in a football game when you play Valley. So
Yeah, at least they'll throw dirt in your eyes. Shit, they try hell.
you can't say that about Norfolk State, and I'm not taking a shot at Norfolk State. I'm not taking a shot at any of the Norfolk State alums. I'm just saying what it is. So when you start taking shots at the SWAC, make sure that you make
Man,
apples to apples comparison.
Mike bring
I think
his
that's
ass
what
over
Jay
here
was talking about.
because the SWAC bored. He bored. He don't have nothing to do, nothing to talk about, no excitement, no nothing.
Yeah, it's going to be so. This entire new landscape of athletics is going to get crazy, but it's only it. We may even be in the crazy part right now. It's going to settle down once everybody realizes that players are going to make money from their name, image, and likeness, and you can't
And
do
they
nothing about
should. And they should. Like they should.
it. You're not going to be able to stop players from transferring. That's just not going to happen. So once the fans and the powers that be come to accept those models, they will then start to comport themselves around those models. So you'll
Right.
start to see everything kind of calm down. Like the coaches that are winning are the coaches that aren't complaining about NIL and transfer portal. Like you didn't see
Nope.
Signetti complaining about NIL and transfer portal. He won.
You didn't even hear it on the FCS level with the HBCU. You didn't hear you didn't hear DJ say anything about the NIL transfer portal because he's
No,
utilizing.
it's not what I'm saying, Mike. It's not what I'm saying at all. But continue.
He is
Continue.
going
You
to
didn't hear.
he is going to miss your point. He is going to be contrarian and obtuse on purpose. And yes, I know contrarian is a big word for Elmo. Use your fucking dictionary to figure out what I'm saying. He's going to do that on purpose.
So two things can be true. You can, well, in this case, when we're talking about P5 and D1 and FCS football, there are several things that are true. The Big Ten and the SEC have budgets that people in the ACC can't dream of.
Hello.
They
There
want that.
are
They want that
teams,
type of
Hello.
budget though. They
people
want
are
that. That's the
complaining.
thing. The ACC, and the Pac-12 and the Mountain West and the American, because those are the two most competitive.
Oh, that was a bad shot, Roy.
Those are the two most competitive Group of Five conferences. They wish to
Do you
have
want
a
to watch?
budget like.
But
Do you
but
know
that's
why they have that budget?
because
Because they
they
get $73 million in free fucking money. They don't have to do nothing. They just show up and get 73. Here's how crazy it is, right? Here's how crazy it is.
Vanderbilt, as a private school in the ACC, is getting $73 million.
yes.
But
Here's how
guess what?
crazy it is. We
But
don't. ESPN donated their replay headquarters. I'm gonna call it a headquarters. Their replay studio. ESPN donated it because they wanted the contract. Fox donated a replay studio because they wanted the contract. ESPN only values what people make them value.
yep.
The SWAC is making your content streamers value them because they have SWAC TV. Now, getting back to my point, there are different levels to this. It is not just D1 and then D2. No, there are levels to this. It is levels to FBS. There are even levels within Group of Five. And there are most certainly levels in FCS football and HBCU FCS. And we had Sam on a fucking show. And if you ask Sam, would he rather play in the FCS playoffs and not get no money or play in the Celebration Bowl and make money? I think he said on our show, it'd be nice if FCF got that payout. I'm pretty sure that's what he said on our
He
show.
did, and I
He did say
guarantee
that.
you can go and find it because we were all on that show. He said that.
He said it.
So all this SWAC need to do this. Man, kiss my SWAC ass. And I ain't never said I was SWAC till today. Motherfucker, I'm SWAC. Because at this point, we got to stop telling lies and quit creating clickbait to try and make it seem like, oh, HBCUs need to go to D2. Why the fuck
Oh,
should
we don't. No, the fuck we don't. If anything, the D2 need to try and get to where we are.
Mike,
Good move.
Morgan might belong in D2.
It
FAMU
does.
don't belong in D2.
It does.
Bethune-Cookman don't belong in D2.
Baseball and Bethune-Cookman don't belong in D2. Baseball.
Jackson State don't belong in D2.
No,
Southern
don't belong in D2.
Texas
Southern,
Southern. None of
Grambling,
those
Texas
schools
Southern, all
belong in
Corn
D2.
State. None of them.
None of them. They are handling business.
You
only
might be
one-
sorely mistaken, Mike. Quick
The
might
only
disagree
one-
with you on this.
The only one that might be struggling, and I use that
loosely.
I can't. I'm gonna use that loosely based on the hiring that they just made and the promises that they just made. Valley might loosely belong in D2, but
Or and
this
PB
recent
loosely.
signing,
PB and PB is
yeah.
loosely.
So listen,
I don't know, man, because there's a lot of female, it's a lot of black women, alums and students. If you're winning on the football field, the ladies are going to support you.
I think
that's our growing audience.
we also discount the number of women that absolutely know X's and O's football. Me and
Thank
Troy
you.
interact with them all the time in the alumni group. They know X's and O's football and basketball. They might not talk it to you niggas because they don't like y'all, but in rooms with people that they actually like and respect them and like and listen to them talk and let them talk, they know what the fuck they talking about. So
Tasha,
right, Tasha,
to say,
Ashley,
to say,
Demetria, like,
to
come
say,
on. Come on. So yeah, women don't like football. Women love football. They just don't like you enough to talk about football with you.
Right. That's it. A lady know, a woman know what they want, and a woman know what they like and they don't like.
I've
Let
had
it be known they don't like your ass.
exactly. I've had amazing conversations about sports with women. Mainly with men, now we yelling because you think you right and I'm telling you you wrong, and now we about to fight.
but yeah, man, listen, and I appreciate Mike coming in and making sure that I keep my blood circulating, that the heart keep going. I
No,
appreciate
hell, I got a job that ensures that I have just enough stress that my fight or flight system stays in rhythm.
that. But we can't sit here and do that, man. We can't sit here and act like, oh man, this is just something. It's not.
Wait a
The
minute.
economic,
Wait a motherfucking minute. Are they really running Houston Comet websites to secure your seat and they arguing over the copyrights to a name right? Please let this deal fall through. Please let this shit fall through.
So it looked like my
Unless they got $1 billion to give up that to pay for that
that name.
the everything.
They got to buy that name.
They got
They
about the
gotta buy
name, and whoever got that name, they are not coming up off. So they either gonna have to let them in on ownership so they can use that
I'm
name, which
about
is
to
what
break
I
my
would
vow.
do.
So
I
hold
am
on,
about to break my
He
vow.
said so.
I'm about to break my vow.
Hold on, Troy. Morgan State, Prairie View, Southern Howard, Hampton, and North Carolina A&T, and a few others have funded, while the majority of HBCUs are third world broke. Okay,
You know what,
first
Doc?
and
Put that.
foremost,
Hold on. Let me find that goddamn board. Let me put that board up because this motherfucker finna piss me the fuck off. Because what you ain't finna fucking do is keep playing with FAMU. I'm sick of this shit.
Don't play with
You do
Jackson
this
State
shit
because we
every
got
fucking
money.
week.
But again, he says the same thing every single time. Like, this motherfucker has a public shaming kink at this point. Like, he wants to get cussed out. It's the only way he can get off. Oh, hey, Cody McMahon is hooping right now.
Let me find this board. Hold on. Let me find this board.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Look, you can
Oh,
say
this is the
Prairie is part of the system. Prairie is part of the school system, the university system. Southern is its own university system.
Yep.
Howard has prestige, and they're the most. They're the most.
No, Howard gets paid directly out of the budget of the federal government.
Federal government, yeah.
So there's
Morgan
that's
State
that.
just got.
And again,
Morgan
I'm
State
not.
just got that. Morgan State just got their fucking money from the damn state that was half part of it that was owed to them.
Literally.
Mackenzie Scott gave y'all money a couple of times.
Morgan State had hit a trifecta at the right time. They hired the correct president. The state gave them their money, and they got money from Mackenzie Scott. Howard, not Howard. Morgan State 10 years ago was everything that me and Mike talking about. It was everything that he talking about when he was there. So this whole I'm rich bitch get off me attitude, he want to fucking get not man. Mm-mm. He
So
come in and he take over motherfucking shows. I'm damn near just saying ban that motherfucker from platforms. Like he will say dumb shit and completely derail what the fuck we talking about. All cause he feel like he right when he loud and wrong all the damn time. It ain't gonna matter how much information you put in front of him. The motherfucker can't read. He gonna still keep on with the shit that he's saying.
all
All
right,
right, let's move
so
on. Let's
I'm,
move
I'm gonna
on.
read. I'm gonna read. Hold on.
Just
I'm gonna
move
read the.
on.
I'm gonna read the findings, Doc. Hold on. I'm gonna read the findings. This is from data-driven HBCU.com. I'm only gonna read the findings since we like to talk crazy. FAMU is the self-sufficiency model for HBCU athletics. 85.2% earned revenue, the highest ticket sales in the cohort, and market-driven approach, managing operating deficit while scaling earned revenue in its strategic priority. Does that don't say nothing about broke?
He don't know. He
That
don't understand what you just said, Troy.
they have money that they generate from the revenue that they create, not the money that they just get from the foundation. They get more money from ticket sales,
Don't shoot
from
that.
earned revenue. That is what I'm talking about. I
Oh,
also want to say
and
this.
you forget we get money from media. We do get money
And
from the
we
We
media.
get
get
money
money from
from
the
media
media.
rights. And then once they start cutting checks from SWAC TV, I want to hear what the fuck broke ass Miak Mike got to say then, because Miak ain't cutting no checks from nothing.
Me and my the playoffs do mean something to you, but we gonna move on,
That
like Doc
no,
said, because
the
we're not.
playoffs mean something to him because
Yeah, to him.
because his measuring stick of what is good and what is great is fucking white people. Let's call a spade a spade. If you ain't playing against white people, me at Mike don't give a fuck what you're doing. Yeah, I'm questioning your blackness, me at Mike, because that's what
And
we are in this
85% of
goddamn
them white schools ain't won a goddamn championship since segregation,
not a
and
fuck
damn, all
thing.
of them didn't win none then. So what the fuck are we talking about?
Not a fuck thing, but he love him though. A white man ice colder than everything for me at Mike, and I'm good with that. Believe me, get that. Don't put that shit on me. I'm happy with where we at. I'm happy with what we got going on in the sweat. Leave me the fuck alone. You can leave us the fuck out of it. Go argue on the FCS school about what's right and what they should be. Go lick they fucking boots, and then that'll make you happy.
Mike,
All
I
right,
will
let's
see you
move on
spraying
to the
your
next
ass.
thing. Let's move on to the next thing. All right. So the four major HBCU conferences, the MEAC, the SWAC, the MEAC, CIAA, and the SIAC have combined, said they're gonna combine their powers and they come up with a black college football poll which debuts this season.
I mean, I'm all for it. It's what we said at the top of the show about pooling resources. Cool. You don't want to include us in none of your polls. We'll make our own poll and we will insulate ourselves and continue.
We could
Perfect.
drop in our own conversations.
Right.
We do that
Perfect.
anyway.
Perfect.
We have 8 million different lists. Now we can call them a poll. But I want to say this. This ain't new. Remember, we used to have the Sheridan poll before we had the Celebration Bowl and all, we had the Sheridan
Yeah,
poll.
I remember that.
I also had the Pittsburgh Courier
Yep.
that used to vote.
Mm-hmm.
You had a lot of if it was a black newspaper,
I
they
think
were voting.
the Atlanta Constitution used to do something back in the day too, like a while ago,
So
but that one been shut down.
so they're also going to have where they're going to be naming their All American teams preseason and postseason. End of the season and postseason All American teams for all four conferences. Now, here's the thing: this leaves out those independent schools like The A&T.
Well, that's an A&T problem. I'm sorry.
Here's the thing: in order to compare apples to apples, and I know like the no ball guys don't want to hear this, but in order to compare apples to apples, and this year, I will say Tennessee State is on the 5 Heartbeats tour. I will give them that credit. I don't
You
know if
wild for
Hampton
that.
is. I don't know if Hampton is. But Tennessee State is, and then A&T played their 2 games that they play in HBCU space. But comparing apples to apples, if they don't play enough games, how do we compare them?
Right.
Like, how do we, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Let's say, for instance, the CAA have a down year, right? And the SWAC have a really good year. How am I comparing the really good players in the SWAC to the one school in the CAA against a down year in the CAA? It's kind of not fair, right?
Right.
We can compare the MEAC players in the MEAC and say, okay, based on what they did in the MEAC, we can kind of extrapolate. But if they're not playing, and I'm not saying that they should be excluded, I'm just giving some credence to like everybody's thought process. If they're not playing, it's kind of hard to give them that if they're not playing in the space. If some make the team, cool. If not, hey.
Mm.
You know, I mean, that's a good way to think about it, though. Like, if you're not playing enough games in the HBCU space, and I'm judging all of these other people against playing 11, 12 games in the HBCU space, then yeah, that makes sense. That's why I said I'm like, and that's kind of that's A&T and
But
Tennessee State fault, but it is what it is.
but
Like,
it's also
if
it's also another school on the Division II level. Is on the
oh,
Division II level that can't participate in this poll, and that is West Virginia State because they're in an all-white conference. And
yeah,
I'm not.
Didn't Dr. Kanisha say that they're an HBCU that is now predominantly white? Did she say that?
shit, Bluefield State is predominantly white, but
Oh, that's
it's an
Bluefield State. Okay.
HBCU. Yeah,
Okay.
and I didn't realize it was an HBCU until I was grown. Cause I knew I had a homie. Well, actually, no, the linebacker coach at Valley, who is from Quincy, played at Bluefield State. That's the only reason why ever heard of that school. Didn't know there was an HBCU until very recently.
But Bluefield State playing the CIAA, so they're still eligible, right?
They play in the CIAA.
I'm pretty sure they do. So
You
there's
sure
Blue.
about
Hold
that?
on. Hold on. Make sure.
Are you talking about
It-
Bluefield State?
yeah,
Yeah, they
because
play in the CIAA, don't they?
Kentucky State is about to have the same shit happen to them because they converting them to a polytechnical school.
Oh, but they'll still be
They'll still be an HBCU.
they'll still be
You
HBCU. They're
can't get
not
rid
going
of
to lose
that.
their land grant notification.
Yeah.
They're not going to lose their land grant. The fuck, I can't even think of the words I'm trying to say now.
I know what
They're
you're
still
talking
going to be
about.
a land grant.
Land
Yeah,
grant status.
right. They're still going to be a land grant status, but they just will be a polytechnic, and they're just trimming down their class offerings. Everything that they offer in classrooms now will be online classes. So their sociology and all of that, you won't be taking that with a professor on campus. You'll be taking that online. Everything else that's in, I don't want to use the term trade school. Don't want to use that term. But the things that you can learn technical in-house programming, um, DevOps, cybersecurity, all of that will be on campus. So that's going to shrink the size of their class offering, but it's also going to shrink the size of what they have to pay for institution or for professors and all of that stuff.
Yeah, Bluefield State is in the CIAA.
Yeah, they didn't see
Yeah,
IAA,
Bluefield.
But the
Yeah,
fact
Bluefield
that
State
they
is
are
in the
72% white and 17% black was what? What are we talking about? Jesus.
but they still consider still get their status because they're land grant
They're land
institution.
grant school, the institution. So yeah. I mean the foundation is still the foundation. It's just look at what it has became.
Yeah, West Virginia State is an HBCU that is predominantly white. 72% white and 10% black.
72%.
Don't get me started.
So shout out to my man. Shout out to our boy Blue because he done dropped his undrafted free agent rookie tracker on the FCS level.
Thank you, Blue.
So I sent it to the group chat.
Don't shoot that. Hey, this shot selection from the rookies is ridiculous, but they're rookies.
Jalen Walthall from Incarnate Word, the receiver, he's signing with the Texans. Ooh. South Dakota State wide receiver Alex Bullock is going to sign with the Jaguars.
There we go.
Anybody from Illinois State?
Probably not.
Illinois State, yes. Wide receiver, Illinois State wide receiver Daniel.
That's the one.
He's signing with the Texans.
Damn it. That's the one. I seen him play.
That's
the one.
Man, Cheryl Williams about to
get
taken out of one game.
And it's still, it's still early, so they still updating as it goes along. So,
If you don't get behind back on the court, I apologize, y'all. Mike got me out of my character. I apologize, or in my South St. Pete character, whichever one you choose to say.
Prairie View cornerback Jalen Shelton has a rookie minicamp invite from the Atlanta Falcons. So there's still some sort of connection, but like I said, they still updating. They update all the time. So, but yeah, let's go ahead and talk about this, man. So the poll, like I said, the poll it looks good. Now the question I have is, who will be able to vote in the poll? Because people like Blue is going to vote regardless because he's certified. BJ,
hey, but we need to get Gerald from TDO on there though.
Yeah, Gerald got to be on there, man.
Gerald got to be on there.
Gerald got to be on there. You know what? This is gonna sound crazy. Marlo need to vote.
I mean,
all bullshit
aside, yeah.
Marlo need to vote. Need to vote.
All right,
I do not want to vote, but I think Marlo needs to vote.
I would like to vote because I spend so much time watching football.
Hey, I want to vote, but on the basketball polls, basketball and strike sports. Let me have something to say.
All right. Hey, Jamal, Jeremiah. Yeah, I've been saying we need to fire Omar.
Yeah,
as baseball coach at Jackson State. He needs to go.
You've
been there one too many years.
Wait a minute.
He firing the baseball coach, man.
Oh man,
he firing the baseball coach.
Let me look at these standings, man. You about worse as Doug. Let me look at these standings.
Yeah, we got Miley Watt by the Beach Cats, so
yeah, I know. It is what it is.
Yep.
I'm about to say, who getting Miley Watt by the Beach Cats?
We did this weekend.
I was saying, who ain't getting Miley Watt by them?
Everybody, and that's why I ain't pissed off. Everybody getting Miley Watt by the Beach Cats. Yeah. Hey, I say what I want to say about that school, but they
kick everybody ass, and I can't say anything bad about it.
I ain't got nothing. They still got a stage in their gym, but at least they can play baseball.
Listen, EA, you right. That first game we look good. That first game, even though we lost by 1, we looked good in that first game. That second game, soon as I turned on, I think, matter of fact, we was live.
We were live.
As soon as I turned on, it was a grand slam. I'm like, yeah, I'm done. I'm done. We're gonna talk about something else now. Let me look at this Jackson State. Ooh, okay. I see. You know what? Doc, go ahead and talk your talk. I can't say nothing.
What's
But
our
you
record
understand
right
it.
now?
In the SWAC, your record is 8-12. Y'all are 18-24.
You know what? Yes, it is time for Omar Johnson to go ahead and
Be
roll up
relieved
out
of his duties.
you be
God
relieved of
can't.
your duties.
Hey, go ahead and send that concerned alumni email to Ashley.
You've been at the helm of Jackson State baseball since 2004. Since 2005 or six, something like that. Around that time, you've been at Jackson State for 20 years,
He
and the whole don't
he
get
the
me wrong,
longest tenured coach in the
he's the,
in the SWAC, right?
he's the longest tenured coach in the SWAC on the baseball side. Now, let's be honest with you. You have not had a losing season. You haven't had a losing season since you've been the head coach at Jackson State. But the thing is that you only gave us one SWAC championship.
Hasn't lost, but hasn't been competitive really either.
The last couple of years, so last season we were competitive.
No, I can't be part of this. I'm gonna turn
The
my
season
camera off.
before that, the season
I be
before
sending
that,
emails.
we were real competitive. But if you look at it this season, our biggest issue is pitching. We can hit everything out the ballpark. We can hit everything out the ballpark, but our biggest issue is pitching.
Ooh, I just I before Travis ain't gonna never respond to my email, and that's fine. Um, this year baseball, hell, and
It's
softball,
been them damn alley cats all the way through.
it's rough in the SWAC because it's when it comes to them two sports, it's two teams. It's Bethune Cookman and everybody else, and it's FAMU and softball and everybody else. It's two teams. I I I wish it was more parity, but it ain't. And teams who are not close to Bethune Cookman are gonna have to make some serious discussions. Now, in this new landscape, it also is gonna be some economic discussions going on. Because getting a new coach is gonna mean a new salary. It's gonna mean the new coach gonna have new requirements because coaches ain't just, oh, give me X amount of dollars. They're like, no, give me X amount of dollars and I need these additional resources, whether it's NIL, whether it's facilities or whatever. So teams are gonna be making economic decisions when they hire a new coach. Crook, who you play for? Ain't you Southern? Did you? I don't even think y'all played Cookman yet. So that might be it.
But yeah, that's what those questions I had for the poll for the new football poll. Will it include other people in media to be a voter? And it goes Zach.
Yeah, which one's that?
Yeah. Like I said, the draft was not a big draft. This was not a very interesting draft.
Jeremiah, it's all of athletics is going through a new landscape. The coaches that are in place now were in place before we had this whole change in landscape. Or at least the coaches that I know about. I don't know. Some coaches, I don't know how long they've been there. But the coaches that I know were in place before we had this new landscape. So.
But All right, let's talk about this right here. I think we kind of talked about this on Thursday, but we're gonna talk about it again. Tremaine Jackson decided to open his mouth
Oh shit.
and say, if we're FCS football team, why come we can't schedule FCS football teams, the good ones? So, I'm looking at this like I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at him playing a long game. I don't think he's gonna be at Prairie View long, because if you look at the schedule that he has this season, you have a Big 12 team on your schedule. You got one of the top teams in the United Athletic Conference as your first game of the season. You have the champion of the Southland Conference on your schedule. And then you really don't know what Texas Southern's going to have when you play them the second week of the season. So it's a shot at Jet State. It's a shot at all of us, because we decided to schedule Division II schools put on our schedule. But let's not try to erase and rewrite history, because the last time I checked, Prairie View done played a couple of schools that was non-sanctioned. You played against a school called University of Faith back in 2008. And
y'all know how I be asking y'all, like, where do these schools come from? Because some of these schools I don't know. Can we be honest? Is this a safe space?
Is this always a safe space?
Probably not,
No.
but it's all right. I'm gonna say it anyway. Coach Jackson, he doing what I call either Florida high school scheduling or what AAU coaches do, right? They will schedule teams that are quote unquote above their weight class to see where they are in conference, right? I'm gonna pick teams that I know I ain't got no business being in their class to see where I am. Now, Coach Jackson comes from a conference where they made the playoffs, that they played in the playoffs. Coach Jackson is what I call a competition guy, right? And by that I mean there are in the FCS space, there are FCS HBCU space, there are competition guys, and a lot of the old FAMUans or the seasoned FAMU Rattlers are like this as well. The competition people say we need to play the best whenever and wherever they are, right? Regardless of what it costs us financially. That's competition.
Regardless of what it costs you human-wise because of kids getting hurt.
Right. I am of the mindset of we don't play for free. Right. We are Celebration Bowl institutions who the second place team, if high enough, gets a playoff berth. The playoffs don't mean anything to me because unlike the seasoned Rattlers, when I was in school, FAMU moved the Florida Classic from Thanksgiving weekend to the weekend before Thanksgiving to get better seating in the playoffs and to get a spot in the playoffs, right? We still ended up having to go play away. Times when we shouldn't have. When we went to play Troy away. Troy was actually a better team than us. We just happened to beat them. But when we went to go play, what the heck? Up in
Southeast
Canada,
Louisiana.
No. I'm talking about way before then. We had to play the Jim Tressel team. What was that team?
Youngstown State.
We had to play Youngstown State. Youngstown State was not better than FAMU. They should have came to Tallahassee. And I don't care what them little A&T people said that they were. A&T beat y'all in the season. At the end of that season, A&T was nowhere close to FAMU. Nowhere.
But you really think about it, it's how much you put in if you want to host.
Back then, yes. If you had more money, you got to host more money. You got to host a game back then. But even taking away all of that,
same way though.
So Blue told me that wasn't the case. But if it's still that way, that's some bullshit. But the other thing is that all these competition people keep telling you we need to go play the best. In the regular season, if that's your attitude, absolutely. If that's your attitude to get into the playoffs as opposed to the Celebration Bowl, so you can drive that narrative, absolutely not. Until the NCAA playoffs do what they do with the FBS playoffs, if it ain't $1 million a game, yes, that was in the semifinal game, Mr. Hunt. And also, if that game was in Tallahassee, we go to the championship. But I digress. But until the NCAA playoffs put money into the FCS playoffs, remember, all of college football, Division I and Division II, I believe. Zach said that's not what happened anymore. All of Division I and FBS and FCS is playing into the house settlement. If we got money to pay into the house settlement, the NCAA got money to put into the playoffs. There should not be teams doing a GoFundMe to get their band to a playoff game. That's some bullshit. There isn't a problem with any bands getting to the Celebration Bowl. I ain't never heard nobody say, we can't afford to get the band to the Celebration Bowl. Have you heard that, Doc? I haven't heard that yet.
Because guess who paid for it? The bowl sponsor pays for it. The bowl sponsors play for everything. If you go to a bowl game, if you go to the Celebration Bowl, let's be honest right here. If no matter if it's FCS or FBS, if you go to a bowl game, the sponsor of that bowl, of said bowl, pays for everything for your ass to get there. Whoever driving up, they're playing the music outside.
Oh, Jesus. Please, Lord, don't crash out. Real quick. How many Black National Championships the Prime got? Don't worry, I'll wait.
0. I'm going to just be honest with you, 0.
And I like Coach Jackson. Do not get me wrong. How many national championships, Black National Championships does Coach Jackson got on the FCS level? Don't worry, I'll wait.
0. Could have had one last season.
EA, it's not, listen, you can play, like I said before, you can play those schedules out of conference in the beginning of the season. There is no reason to uproot my world to play in the FCS playoffs, because if I'm playing those teams in the regular season, I have head-to-head tape. Oh, this is supposed to be the best guard in America. Well, my defensive tackle dominated him. If this is the best corner in the world, my wide receiver dominated him. In a regular season, you can play that. You don't have to uproot your entire everything that brings you money into the university. You ain't got to uproot that. You can keep the Celebration Bowls model and still play those games out of conference. I have no problem with that. FAMU regularly used to play Troy. Regularly used to play Georgia Southern. So I have no problem with those. They still play. They're going to play forever and a day the University of Miami. Zach, I'm so tired of having these conversations. I really am. Like I really am. But it it grows. Every time it comes up, it grows because we have somebody in the space, meaning Coach Jackson, that are parroting the things that the trolls are saying, giving it life and validity. So you got me at Mike talking crazy, but then right behind that, you got Coach Jackson talking sane. He ain't talking crazy like me at Mike, but he talking sane. So the crazy is now valid. Kind of like how that political world is. The crazy is valid because somebody with a little bit of sense is saying something, but it's still crazy. But it has validity because someone of stature is saying the crazy.
I would
That's all
say
I'm
this
saying.
though. Let me say this. Hold on before we finish off. I'm gonna say this, Coach Jackson,
Oh yeah,
you
out of stuff.
CJ, you control your team the way that you want to control your team, the way that you want to schedule, the way that you want to do everything. That you are in charge of the Prairie View A&M Panthers. Not everybody's going to try to follow the same type of model that you're trying to portray out there, because in a sense, the way it looked like to some of us, this looks like you're trying to maybe move on to another school, bigger level.
You know what, Zach? You know what? I just thought about something, and I touched on it when you was on our show. Coach Jackson does an amazing way to keep people talking about Coach Jackson in Prairie View. Miak Mike does an amazing thing to make sure people talk about Miak Mike and the crazy things he says. At some point, it's rage engagement. So there's engagement, there's rage engagement. And this particular discussion is rage engagement, right? We ignore the fact that FCS HBCUs are also a payday for D2 HBCUs, just like Miami is a payday for Florida A&M. Coaches, because the coaching ranks on all levels, it's a million school or 300 schools out there that play football, right? But those coaches know each other and talk each other. They got the same social circles. Those coaches look out for each other by giving them money games, right? Edward Waters, Bethune-Cookman gave Edward Waters a money game. So D1
Yeah, but
FCS
couldn't get
looks.
Clark Atlanta 2 years ago in the money game, and look what happened when they played them.
See what I'm saying? So you take care of your cousin institutions to make sure that they don't go away, right? As best you can. We need to understand that. That is nobody wants to use the R word, but that there is a responsibility that we have sometimes that we need to acknowledge.
Here's the thing though. If you worried about going to the playoffs because the FCS plays the playoffs, the SWAC, if you know it, come on now, Coach Jackson, you played in the SWAC before you went over to your University of Houston, but you played at Texas Southern. You got to remember when you was there, we took ourselves out of the picture for the playoffs because look, we had a valid reason why. Sending teams all the way up to the north to go get our heads beat in. Unfair playing advantage. You know, this back in the late 90s. Okay, we create the SWAC championship game. It eliminated us from going to the playoffs. Now, if you were good enough, yeah, like you said, if you're good enough and you were ranked high enough, then yes, you are. You probably would get qualified for the playoffs. But that's if you have all three of those ducks in a row. Now, let's put it like this. Prairie View is tied into the SWAC. Prairie View is the last remaining charter member of the SWAC. All right. So let's just put it like this. Prairie View, when your president and other presidents in the council decided that we are going to take ourselves out of the playoffs. Also, sign us up for a SWAC championship game. But last, say that the Celebration Bowl is our national championship game, our de facto national championship game, and our bowl game. Unless you come into second place, unless you don't qualify for the SWAC championship game, that's where you're gonna be at. That's what you're gonna have. That's what you're gonna be in. You're gonna be in the SWAC. You're in the SWAC, man. Ain't nothing. I mean, it's things that have changed, but there's some things that have stayed the same. So therefore, therefore, I would say this, and then we can move on to our main. We can move on to our main topic. You coach the team the way that you want to coach. You coach your team. You control your team the way you control your team. Stop taking subtle shots at Jackson State or other schools in the SWAC because we decided that we're going to concentrate on the Celebration Bowl instead of the FCS playoffs. You can say it's an easy way for us to get to the Celebration Bowl. You damn right. Or to get to the SWAC championship game, you damn right. It is an easy way. Those games are preseason. Those 2-3 games are preseason. You have to win 8 of them. You got to win 8 of your games in the conference to qualify. So let's stop beating this. Let's stop beating this dead horse, bro. And move on. And move on from it, and let's get ready for some good SWAC football this coming fall. All right. Main topic of discussion for tonight. What is going on at Delaware State? What is going on at Del State? What's up in Dover? I promise you, the BET is not going to show no black college football unless you get somebody black to be back to relevant.
BET, not even BET. That's Viacom, or what is it now? It's Skydance something now. When it comes to Delaware State, right?
Now, for the folks that don't know, tell them, Troy, what's going on at Del State.
There's a lawsuit by a former player who was pretty much choked until he was unconscious. All the details, again, the details are limited. Another player was getting choked out. The young man tried to step in and, kind of mediate. Hey, you know how we do it. Hey, man, that's too much. And then he got choked out. We did not learn about this in season. We learned about it postseason. I will say that our platforms were asking questions about what's going on in Delaware State, because of some movement. And we didn't understand the movement after a successful season. And I'm not talking about player movement. We were just concerned. We may not have answers to those concerns. Now, EA, this wasn't no locker room fight. This wasn't just that. A lot of us have had locker room fights. As this is described, this ain't no locker room fight. This is you out for a season injury type situation. It was not a good look.
And then when you think about it, that's considered assault.
Yeah, this wasn't that. Like, your captain punching you in your face because you keep missing a call or you keep blowing an assignment, those are two different things. This was an MMA choke your ass to sleep type situation. This ain't that. This ain't that at all. Yeah, I saw that, Charles. I saw that. What I'm gonna say is that this ain't gonna be a good look. Please settle if you can fast. Nobody needs to see this discovery. And I mean nobody.
Somebody came up with a show. I kind of watched it a little bit. Said that he might get fired.
So
if I ain't heard nothing from it all, let it play out. If it goes to court, let it play in court. If it doesn't, then
the attorneys are involved now. Nobody's gonna say nothing. Not the university president, not the coach. Good luck even trying to ask about it. I think that kid gone. I'm pretty sure that kid gone. Again, I don't have the article in front of me, but I'm pretty sure that kid gone.
Let me see. I think I got it.
Just know nobody is going to be talking. As somebody who's currently going through a lawsuit, I want to tell y'all about this lawsuit so bad, but I can't. Because lawyers are doing what lawyers do. Once the lawsuit come up, ain't nobody talking. Ain't nobody talking because you can't win nothing out here in public. Nothing. But you can lose everything running your mouth. So everybody's going to be quiet. If I so happen to book coach, I'm not going to ask him about it. And I know I should, but I'm not because I know what the answer is going to be.
All right, so got it. This came from Stephen Gaither. Mm-hmm. So Delaware State and head football coach Deshaun Jackson are at the center of a new lawsuit filed by a former player who says he suffered catastrophic injuries during an alleged locker room assault in November 2025. The civil complaint also names assistant coach Travis Clark, director of football operations Jane Hicks, and player Anthony Herbert as defendants. The complaint was filed Thursday in Delaware Superior Court by Malachi Biggs. Biggs is a North Carolina resident who was enrolled at Dale State and on the football team at the time of the alleged incident. According to the lawsuit, the incident happened on November the 19th, last year, 2025, before a 6:30 a.m. practice. Biggs says he arrived early for treatment, then went into the locker room to get ready for practice. The complaint alleges Anthony Herbert confronted another player over an Instagram post and began choking him. It then says Herbert turned to Biggs over that same post. The lawsuit alleges Herbert put Biggs in a chokehold and told him to tap out. Oh my God. Biggs claims he repeatedly tried to tap out and get free. The complaint says Herbert ignored those attempts, choked him out until he lost consciousness, and then dropped him to the floor. The lawsuit says Biggs suffered severe injuries when he hit the floor unconscious. The alleged injuries include multiple jaw fractures, a deep chin laceration, damage to at least a dozen teeth, and a severed ligament under his tongue. Wow. The complaint also says he later needed a metal plate placed in his chin. Biggs was taken by ambulance to Kent General Hospital. According to the filing, the lawsuit says he later returned home to North Carolina for more treatment. He underwent surgery on December the 1st and has needed continued dental and oral care since then. The complaint states he has remained out of school since the incident and was still undergoing treatment as of April the 10th of 2026. Um, so here's the thing on that one. Let's talk about this. Here's the thing. So with the football player, right, that got injured, they had nothing to do with Deshaun Jackson. That's between you and that other player. And I'm not saying you don't, I'm not saying that Mr. Biggs was complicit or wrong or anything like that. You got choked out to the point where he dropped you and he damaged several, parts of your body, right? He basically put you in the coquina clutch and say tapped out. They put it just like that. But that needs to be taken between him and said player. And if I'm the other guy that got choked out or got harassed by this one player because of an Instagram post, I'll be going after I'll be going after him too.
That's not how that works, right?
Right, it's not how it works.
Yeah, because that player who choking people out probably don't have nothing to lose. But it's also on the university and the coach to make sure shit like that don't happen.
But I understand that.
I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. And EA, that's the reason why these kids can't have Uzis and guns in their locker rooms. Because when I was in school, I was at an informational session that escalated quickly, and I'm gonna leave it at that. But the people who are in charge are also responsible for the people that they bring in their locker room.
Right. So here's another part of what it says. Plaintiff claims gang language created toxic culture. The lawsuit goes beyond the alleged locker room assault itself. It claims Delaware State staff allowed what it describes as a tough guy culture to take root inside the program. In one section, the complaint alleges that Deshaun Jackson, Travis Clark, and Jane Hicks permitted a cultural philosophy that relied heavily upon the use of gang-associated slang and gang-associated mentality. The filing also claims players were encouraged not to allow others to disrespect them. Those claims are allegations in the complaint and have not been proven in court. Elsewhere, the lawsuit says Delaware State officials knew or should have known that staff created and promoted an unsafe locker room environment by permitting and utilizing gang-related language, promoting a violent culture, failing to discipline violent behavior, and allowing bullying and assault to be treated as horseplay. In its punitive damages section, the complaint repeats those allegations and says the program fostered a violent culture either directly or through inaction.
Anybody remember? Is anybody old enough to remember the Colorado teams in the 90s?
Yeah, you talk about DR Figures and Airbnb, all them.
Sound real familiar, don't it?
When we talk about before Cordell Stewart and Michael Westbrook, we talk about
shit. It was going on when they was there.
Huh?
It was going on when they was there.
Okay, but it started with
Coach Mack. It started with Coach
Mack, Bill McCartney.
It started with Coach Mack. Coach Mack would go to California and get the players that nobody else, with talented players, but players that coaches didn't want to go in their neighborhoods. They're quote unquote gang affiliated neighborhoods. And right. I don't want to put that stigma on this. I don't. But let's just, for the sake of argument, that is the case, that you have a player who may be affiliated or have gone through that type of culture. You bring a player like that into the locker room, and now everything is disrespect. Oh, you disrespect them. So disrespect is addressed differently in different places differently. So if you bring this kid from out there and he used to address and disrespect one way, and now you in a place where that's not how you address disrespect, I'm not giving them a pass, but I'm just telling you, you got to understand the mentality. That goes back to, do you know who you recruit? And my feeling on it is Coach Jackson understands that culture, not saying that that's what he's from or he was ever involved in. I'm saying he understands that he had, he need to make sure that, hey, this is not what I'm bringing in. That's all I'm saying. And I'm trying not to make it all his fault, but he got to bear some responsibility on it. And to that effect, if he bears responsibility,
I would say he needs to bear. Now with that, he does need to bear some responsibility on that part right there.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think you said that they wanted a tough guy culture, because you got to understand, you coming in, you really ain't won nothing in a long time. It's like you have to change. What the thing is, a coach always say, we're gonna have to change the culture of the football team. We can't, if you want to win, if you want to get into the big, the big dance and everything, you have to change the way that you do business. That you literally have to.
Yeah, you can't have players out here issuing code reds. That can't happen. Jay Starship, it is very calculated. But if you go back to the description of the events, a choke out and then the injuries that happened, like somebody else said, they got stomped out. That's not a normal fight.
Mm-mm.
A normal fight is, he done choked out and hit the ground, I'm good. The choking out and then stomping out is you gonna learn the day type of event. So I am not a fan of using gangs when it comes to black football players, but also understand that there are attorneys involved now. And the attorneys are going to use language that's going to get them to the most money.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm going through a situation right now, and there's a term that during my unsworn statement that I need to make sure everybody understood, because that's how bad it was. So that's what's happening. Hey, yeah, Crook, listen.
Let's not sleep on where Deshaun Jackson from. Deshaun
Hey,
Jackson.
yeah, EA. Highlight EA comment. Highlight EA comment. Because EA sound like he played football for one of my favorite coaches. But that's how it's handled. That's how you handle it.
Mm-hmm.
It may not even be a locker room fight. It may be y'all square up on the field and go head up. I've seen that happen. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But what this was not that. So listen, there was a guy that played in the football league that everybody loved his kids. Me and him had a moment because he thought I was a new guy at the school and you was just going to talk to me crazy. You want to go talk to me crazy.
Right.
I didn't care how big he was. I got friends just as big as him. So he might have whooped my ass that day. He didn't. But I was going to make sure that my friends was going to whoop his ass the next day. And once we had that understanding, I ain't had no more problems out of him. And he a great dude. Great, famous dude. But, this wasn't that. Like, we are all okay with, hey, roughhousing happens, especially with boys. Boys, when they go to men, they roughhouse. I have to explain that to Ash Mama. He gonna roughhouse. That's just what boys do.
I want to say, and then let's put it just like this. This is not a lack of institutional control on Deshaun Jackson's part. Just like you said, is if he's trying to bring in a different cult, he's trying to bring in a different mindset, and of course that's the reason why you won. You was game away from winning the whole MEAC.
Yeah, lack of institutional control isn't one event. A lack of institutional control is many events.
Many events.
Hold on a second. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
So, turn my camera on. So, if you really think about this, with just just looking at this and reading on it, he has a case. I'm gonna be honest with you. He has a case. He has a case with the guy who attacked him, who choked him out, who dropped him on his face, and you know what I'm saying? Because that's what it looked like. That's what it sounded like he did. Dropped him on his face, and all this right here is out of there. But in order for things in order for you to get back to respectability, like you have to take accountability and you have to take responsibility for the actions. So if that means that Deshaun Jackson had to suspend or had to kick that player out the team, and not the one that got choked out, but the one that was doing the choking out, he had to kick him out the football team. So be it. That's his job as a head coach. That is his sole job. You are in charge of at least over 100 players, maybe 85, maybe 90. Who knows? Yeah, that was another thing. Where was the other position teammates? Because when he said he came in to do treatment and to get ready for practice.
That is a very good question.
But remember, he said he got there early. He got there early to do treatment. And then he got, once he was finished with his treatment, it was time for practice.
I don't think,
but he didn't make it to practice because of the fact that he done got choked out.
Hell, he probably went to the hospital.
He went to the hospital, and like I said, if it was me, I'm filing full charges against that dude right there. And like you said, yes, Deshaun Jackson has to bear some of that responsibility right there. Because if you didn't do it, now there's the thing: if you didn't do anything afterwards, you know what I'm saying? If there was no disciplining, if there was no hey, no judgment, hey, you did this kid could have been worse than what was done. You got to go. I don't need that on my football team. I like your toughness, but I don't need you going around choking out your teammates. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't need that.
That is going to be the first question the attorney asks. What steps did you take immediately after? And if that young man
and
played,
if it's a position, and if it's one of the position coaches, position coach, what did you do to help to make sure that this man right here don't go around assaulting other players on the football team also?
and here go the best part. This is gonna be the question. If that young man is still on the team, you know what that question is, right? Why is he still on the team if he's assaulting players?
See, that's when you put on your GM hat and become one of those what they call them, what they call the people who cut the Grim Reaper, right? You got to become the Grim Reaper. Like, hey, I'm sorry to say this, but can you please turn in your playbook
For real?
and all your stuff? Because we don't condone that on this team.
Like immediately after.
Immediately, right. And like I said, I let him slide with the gang, with the ghetto mess that he said on that what was that, his own podcast, him and CP, him and Clinton Portis. But it's starting to look like, if that's the case, it's starting to look like it's looking a little bit ghetto in Dover. It's a little bit.
I hope there are better days ahead. I hope there are better days ahead. I hope they settle this. And I'm not saying you settle this because somebody is right and somebody is wrong. I'm saying settle this because the damage, it's more damage that can be done by this going to discovery than settling.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it is a state institution, if it goes to discovery, this don't just become a Delaware State issue. This now becomes a HBCU issue because Delaware State is a HBCU. So
no, I don't think it'll become. I'll be honest with you, Troy. I don't think it becomes an HBCU issue. I still think it would still be a Delaware State issue. It won't. But I see where you're coming from, because some pundits are going to say, y'all niggas don't know how to control yourselves over there. But it's not like that. And they're going to say, read between the lines, though, for real. This is not an HBCU issue. They have this in every football program.
EA,
you got the biggest bad motherfucker that go out.
EA, if that has been a productive player, if he's been a productive player and he didn't instigate this incident, and again, this is where coaches make their money. They are going to have to ask tough questions with these kids in the transfer portal. But if that kid didn't instigate this, if this was some minor post on Instagram, something innocuous, then yeah, I bring that kid in. I 100% bring that kid in. If the kid, and don't add me to your lawsuit, this is just a hypothetical, but if the kid is a general asshole and he had been an asshole all year, I am not taking no blame on what happened to him. I'm not bringing an asshole into my locker room. But if he's a good kid and this happened to him, and even if he ain't a good kid, this still happened to him. But if he's a good kid and this happened to him, yeah, bring him in. I mean, listen, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you this right now. Some of your favorite football players can't fight. Because they've never had to fight. Some of your favorite football players can't fight.
I'm sorry. Sean Merriman can fight.
There are some football players that can fight, but
He one of them.
I've been around a bunch of players who can fight, and I've been around a bunch of players who I was absolutely shocked, especially where they came from, that can't fight. Everybody, listen, beating somebody's head in on the football field is different than putting your hands on them.
So, at the end of the day, man, hopefully nothing like real serious comes out of this. I hope the young man gets his just due, gets his justice in court. I hope this is a learning experience. This will be a learning experience for Deshaun Jackson as a head coach, because you're going into your second season as a head coach, man. Yeah, Bo Jackson got them. Yeah, Bo Jackson do got hands. He'll tell you too.
EA, Prime is not the person that I was concerned with. Prime will fight. It's some other people from Cross Gain Street that will not fight. That's the story. And unfortunately, that story is going to go to my grave. But trust and believe, if ever you see me going off on Twitter because somebody said something sideways to me, just know if it's from Cross Gain Street and I'm talking to him sideways and it's a former athlete, because they ain't got no hands. And I know they ain't got no hands. I'll put it that way. Because again, everybody that say they can fight cannot fight. So Jake Starship, he's suing the university, Deshaun Jackson. I think he added the kid to the lawsuit too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, he had him in the lawsuit.
Yeah, Prime. Not now. I'm not talking about Prime now. I'm talking about Prime back then. He didn't have to fight. He didn't have to fight, but he was not. If the fight came to him, he wasn't running from the fight. I'll say it that way. If y'all know people from the various sides of Gain Street back then, they'll tell you. They know. They know. If y'all was in the streets the way I was in the streets in Tallahassee, they know. And hell, Prime was gone by the time I got to Tallahassee.
Man, you were dealing with Clifton Abraham from Oak Cliff and T-Buck from the coast.
Man, let me tell you something. It was some Florida State players. I really worried that they wasn't gonna make it to the end of spring. But I don't know if I wasn't there when Jameis was there. I was long gone when Jameis was there. When we won our second national championship, I had just left Tallahassee. Oh no, he named all three.
It is not going after money. This is going to let you know that, hey, you're going to have to change some shit. That if he's still on the team, where he need to go? Anyway, that's what I had to say about that. But this is something that I just brought up. So, like I said, we are rebranding.
Yeah, we was all on our best behavior on the yard. Every time we came across, listen, let me go ahead and tell you this. Every time we crossed Gain Street, we was on our best behavior. Because Florida State got this thing in their handbook. And what is it? Mario Edwards, he played for the Dallas Cowboys. If you
Mario Senior. Let gotta put it
right,
out there.
Mario Edwards Senior.
Look,
if you bring bad light on the institution, you can be expelled. So when we went across Gain Street, first off, everybody over there knew we wasn't FAMU students. Secondly, when we got over there, hey, how everybody doing? We just here to talk to the women. It's all good. We wasn't over there acting up. Not acting up.
So
now, are you talking about Warwick Dunn? Warwick Dunn didn't have to fight.
From DR. You didn't have to worry about Warwick Dunn, from what I heard.
You didn't. Warwick Dunn wasn't in the streets, one. And if there were people in place that if you said something crazy to Warwick, it was going to be addressed. There were a few people like that. You're not going to fuck up the money.
But, hey, y'all. Look, we had a nice time today, even with my technical difficulties. But I just want to let y'all know this is what we are going to be on. This is the new logo.
That's what's up.
This is the new logo for the channel.
Wait, we ain't gonna talk about ANT before we leave. We're gonna table that.
Oh, we'll talk about ANT before we roll up out of here. Ward Dunn was a good guy, man. I mean, of course, Mama was a police officer, so he really couldn't do shit. But stuff happens when it make you change.
I know who EA talking about, and you talking about my people. We're gonna keep rolling. Leave that alone. Because he worked for FDLE now. Leave that alone. Keep rolling.
So yeah, that's what we got going on. That's what I got going on right now. We gonna revamp this whole thing. I've already got I got approval. A good approval from it. Because like I said, I've been sitting on the same logo for the last 4 years. Is now it's time to upgrade and revamp this whole thing and get it all out there. But anyway, let's talk about ANT. What's going on with ANT?
Man. So whenever their new president came in, the new president was a little concerned about some of the financials. So they requested an audit.
Okay.
And the audit came back, and we'll dig deeper into this next week, but audit came back that employees were, I don't want to use the term misuse funds, but you had people getting financial aid benefits or financial benefits. Let me change that. We're getting money dispersed for children of employees, friends of employees who did not meet a need criteria. And it ain't pretty, but it also is, you had people in place that did the right thing to where this could have been a bad story. The state didn't come in and say, "Ooh, look what we found." The chancellor, I think they got chancellors in North Carolina. The chancellor said,
"Yeah,
hey,
they got chancellors.
Yeah, some don't look right." And the chancellor said, "Hey, take a look at this." And so the state came in, the state auditors came in and audited and said, "Hey, this was going on." And by the way, whoever that white guy is over the audit commission, give him credit, because he made sure to let everybody know this wasn't us coming in slapping our badge down doing an audit. We were brought in because there were concerns. And so what could have been a bad story actually is a good story, and good stewardship of the university, good financial stewardship of the university. And it also goes to show, and it's not just the A&T thing, because this has happened in multiple places. It didn't even happen at Florida State a long time ago. These things happen. And as long as you are forthright and upfront about what's going on, it's not a bad thing. It's going to happen. When you are dealing with millions of dollars, people will make mistakes. People will go, okay, well, I got this emergency fund. I don't have a clear mandate of what this emergency fund is, but I got this emergency fund that ain't been used in 3 years. Let me use it to make sure this student don't drop out. That may be wrong. Good intention. It may be wrong, but this is how you fix stuff like that from happening. So while it may be a slight black eye, it's actually a good story. Because this could have been, it could have been ugly. Years. Yeah, we could be 20 years and it'd be, $50 million of money being misused, but it wasn't being misused nefariously. It was for the students. Nobody was running around here with a brand new Jag. It was to make sure the student get to graduate. It's a mess, but it's one of those messes that I can live with. It ain't one of the messes where I forget whatever the school was, where you got people, taking money and buying cars and all that. This student trying to graduate. I'm gonna make sure this student graduate, pay for these classes, yada, yada, yada. I'm okay with that. As long as, again, that's what I got. Now, if something else come out and say it was different, I'm okay with that.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. This almost sounds like what happened at not Morehouse, but at Morris Brown, in a sense, with funds. And they, hey, A&T, get your shit in order.
Yeah, I know I've talked to the North Carolina A&T people I talked to. They do cap their enrollment.
Yeah, that's the reason why they can't get 15,000 in their school. Right.
Just like, I don't know if the state of Florida caps FAMU's enrollment, but they goddamn show limit them resources. So if it ain't a hard cap, it's sure enough a financial cap, if you will. So it's not a terrible story. I'm glad it was caught the way it was caught. If it was caught any other way, this is a bad look. Now the state do different things. The state come in and start saying, well, we got to institute rules. Now they ain't got to do that, because A&T did what they needed to do. So, but again, this story is coming out. It's slowly coming out, and it'll probably be bigger when we're not in the middle of draft and football and all of that. But it's a good story in compliance and in stewardship. I'll just say it that way. Also, I had to tell my wife today that what it mean when I say, can her husband fight? I had to say that today. Yeah, apparently my wife will listen to a show or two here and there and won't hear shit about football or basketball, won't hear none of that. But she heard, can her man fight? And as many times I've said it, the only time she has an issue is when it was Stacey Dash. I don't know. I don't know why.
Stacey Dash is a lost cause.
She still look good though.
Yeah, she still look good, but she's still a lost cause.
This will never happen. I'm not gonna step out on my marriage. I'm just gonna say this. I'm not looking for Stacey Dash to have intellectual conversation with me. I just need her to look good for me. That's it. That's it. I'm sure that is rude and crash and all of that. But yeah. No, EA. She ain't read nothing about no damn skin tags. What? You know what? Jesus.
All right, now we're gonna get up out of here, y'all. Man, if you want to check out, see where all your favorite players, your FCS players are going to sign for as an undrafted free agent, go check out Blue, the FCS tracker, and he updates it on.
Hey,
I
Blue.
think he updates it on the hour.
I don't know if Zach's still in here. They just did another episode of the Blue Bloods. Man, check them out. I know they be in the middle of the afternoon, but man, check them out, man. This is a good show. Absolutely is a good show. EA, she always been skinny, but she's still fine. And she in Pasco County. Maybe that's I don't know. I ain't listen. I'm not going down that rabbit hole. It's just interesting that we know where she live at.
Mm.
You will not catch me in Pasco County. But that you know what? It all makes sense now. Doc, it all makes sense now.
Was that?
All the crazy talk she be talking. If she in Pasco County, it all makes sense.
Oh, she got dropped on her head, dude, as a baby.
Yes. If she living amongst them people, it makes sense. But we gotta get out of here, y'all. We gotta get
I
out of
get
here.
up out of here. I gotta take these contacts out because my eye is irritating me right now. I gotta wash my hair and get ready to retwist it. I know if I call my mom and tell me to come pick me up for church in the morning, she gonna be like, "I'm coming early. I gotta be at church at 11 something."
That ain't early. That's normal time.
That's
Early is
early,
when you gotta be there at 6:30 in the morning.
Oh no, we ain't Catholics.
All right, y'all. Let me get up out of here.
We up out of here. Y'all be blessed, be safe, hug your loved ones, or love on your loved ones. Like Jamal said, punch a Nazi. And fuck Donald Trump. And I would crash out on you kids and beat them out the penitentiary. We'll be back on here more than likely, maybe Monday. I'll be back on Monday, and to do a recap on the undrafted free agent tracker, and we are almost May is next week. The month of May is next week. So if you can, make sure you get if you can, make sure you hit that donation button. Hit the donation button. You always PayPal and Cash App. I don't do Zelle anymore. I don't have a bank account that don't have a bank account that has Zelle, but you can do PayPal or Cash App. Still got to pay the bills around here with the channel, and still got to make sure that I am able to continue to give you all the news and highlights and everything from the diaspora. Again, shout out to Josh Sims Sr. for being named new head football coach at his alma mater in North Carolina. My man, you're gonna do great things on Friday nights. You're gonna have to tell them to send a link because I want to watch. I want to watch now. I want to see you out there on the field. I want to see you coach. See what your coaching philosophy is, my brother. But other than that, man, y'all look again. Y'all be blessed and be safe, and always y'all be easy. Peace.